Now, welcome. Oh, this is Chad Prento live from hell, as he's been for a while. I just changed the backdrop to look like duckies and ponies in the past few years. Welcome to Stone Soup Poetry, all open mic. Some amazing features coming up. First of which will be next week. Rick McIntyre on the 12th. He's looking forward to it. Tonight, it's going to be a showcasing of the people who make this possible each and every week. You, the participants, and the open micer and the audience to each other tonight. And it's going to be a fun time. I'm sure we're going to get a couple other people joining us late, but let's get started. It's a round robin, two rounds, and then we go home or we stay home and then we go offline. And that's probably the more popular choice. Let's go now. Who's our first person going to be today? Let's go to Mr. Richard Spisak, the poet of Three Rivers, whose illustrations you can see very prominently displayed in Oddball magazine this past Monday. Take it away, sir.
Thank you so very much. It's my honor to be here among this fine group. I have a couple pieces for you, which I hope will amuse you a little. This first one's called The Sandwich Case. I'm sure you are all aware that a gentleman was charged with felony assault for throwing a sub sandwich in an ice container. But now they
Sorry, I went to go mute Ethan, and I muted you by accident. Sorry about that.
you've seen one, you've seen them all. Okay, the sandwich case. The tossed sandwich case, the felonious assault has been replaced with the acquiescence of the empowering Panel's Justice Department with a great grave face. The dangerous sandwich has been tested. Chefs everywhere admit they've been bested. A salad with a sandwich on a pseudo Kaiser roll to some, the gutsy kind with olives, pickles, and tomato, if that's your goal. And although some claim it's the special sauce that raises it to a misdemeanor, you should have sent it off to the cleaners. And though I say it's the olive bits that could have been clearer or cleaner if they've been undressed, and some might wield mighty power, sure the chalk as pen, it will turn to cold cuts. It takes guts. We won't pretend that kind of violence with special sauce is the flying confirmation of a brutal attack. I may suggest that lacking ginger ale and chips, that's why the disgraceful case crumbles in the glitter gutter. And therefore, yes, they've called the sandwich board bread and rolls. Please let us have another. The state police and federales have come and stayed to get their jollies. But what we have is a little tossed salad on a Kaiser roll. Instead, I've tasted several in and out of flight. They've been downright treasure. I've had two each night. Brutal mayhem, it's been alleged, yet the felony charge the grand jury demurred well beyond, some say, and over the edge. Murals lauding this revolutionary confectionery have appeared overnight. It's so goddamn incendiary, demanding a dropping of all the charges. And to this, the rabid prosecutor claims the villainy has so enlarged, they're simply told to, hey, get a life. Just go home, visit the wife. An example, they say, of the deep state power, this sandwich thrower, enriched by baker's flour, who was immediately detained. They said his liberal brain could not contain the insurrectionist rebellion that clanged so beyond constraint. He felt it wasn't enough to say that the would-be Nazis from ICE, they shouldn't stay. They should, at the very least, just go away. And then I have this other little one you may recognize, because many of you, I know, indulge in humor outside the bounds of propriety. It's called It's Their Duty. They specialize in cruelty. They think, I guess, it's their very special duty, and they cuddle up to their very best friend, Vlad the Pootie. Careless, heedless are they of the toddler's hungry cries, as if it matters. Hey, I do need another ballroom, don't you see? It's not just about you, it's about me. And say, what the seniors can't control, they want to eat daily? Yeah, sure, what's the score? But if they can't find work for some way, say, minimum wage, what? I can't be bothered to work, dude. It's all the rage. What, you want to feed me that jerk who says they can't drag their ragged ass and find some work? Ain't no free ride except for my pals, because, well, it drives them up a wall. I can afford my doctors. Well, how about you? And what you will, I'll get my fill. And guess what? You will, in the end, get my fattened bill. And all these myriad relations of mine on the dole, that's just how the rich do it. With our multicolored privileges, we just let it roll. You can't succeed without a shit ton of cash. Oops, did I speak out of turn like my medico said? Hey, don't be rash.
Thank you, Richard. And thank you, Robert, for giving me ideas for sketches that'll never get seen on SNL. When you're listing Oscar Mayer as cold cuts indicted in the sandwich assault case. I stay for the courtroom. Your name, Oscar, Oscar. Okay, that's a, you have to be under 50 to, you have to be over 50, 50 and over to get that joke. Anyway, luckily, the police was wearing armor, special body armor hot dogs. Okay, I'll shut up and let's go on to the. Oh, at least one person laughed, and at least pantomime laughter. Thanks, Jan. Let's go to Anna Jeffrey. So good to have her here. And I believe the controversy is this coming Monday, correct?
Yes, it is. November 10th, we will be live at Urban Media Arts, 145 Pleasant Street in Malden. Doors open at 6:30 and it's a 1 hour show, so don't be late. Um, I recently went through a dramatic breakup. Who wants to hear dramatic breakup poetry? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Oh,
This is poorly edited, so bear with me. This one's titled Minotaur. Day 30 finds me waking up from a dream of frantic packing in the shadow of a tornado and thinking about him. You see, I used to go camping every summer as a kid, and he was a Boy Scout, and I'm once again going over every little thing that looked like a sign, but it was actually just coincidence and happenstance, and remind myself that men like him are a dime a dozen, and they are found in every niche hobby and subculture, every corner of the world. The thing that they hate most is that they are unremarkable, that the only thing that sets them apart is the harm they cause the people they convince themselves they love. Some days it feels like he was a bear trap set out just for me with a sign marked trampoline, and I am simultaneously both the idiot for accepting this obviously false description of reality and a kind soul for giving that rusty, unsafe looking thing a chance to live up to its benign self identity. Other days, I remember how upset he was when I pointed out the whole reason women love You Oughta Know is that the man is an unremarkable nothing of a guy, and it's relatable because we lose our minds and only find out later that it was for someone who wasn't anything special at all. He didn't say anything because that would be saying the quiet part out loud. He just stewed and moved on to taking with Oh, sorry, moved on, taking with him the bad mood because men like him derive self-worth from power, and the only power he has is making women feel something, and too often the something he chooses is miserable and powerless, and men like him hate when women take that power back, hate when they stop crawling back, hate when they name his behavior for what it is and decide not to be devastated and walk away, learning how to take care of themselves again instead of letting him take over every thing, trading, learned helplessness for grocery runs and all the mundane things that make a life worth living. It's still romanticizing when we mythologize just how much of a monster they were, how special and uniquely messed up our connections were, how inevitable and tragic the loss was. It doesn't matter if it was love. People fall in and out of that shit every day. Not really special. He's not really that special. What we had wasn't special. Getting hurt by someone who hurts people is just about as not special as it gets, hon. He didn't need to be a minotaur to explain what happened or the hurt it brought. He's literally just some guy.
dang. I'm glad you got a poem out of the experience.
I'm getting a whole chapbook out of this shit.
Wow. Um, let's uh let us move on now to Janro, who I mentioned earlier. Good to have you back. Good to get the mute off. Let me help you. There you go.
Okay, I made the front page this week, and the editor James Parker's mentioned Black Scene Writers been going on for a long time every Tuesday morning in Sprode Hall at the Cathedral. And another person in it is Ambrose Spencer, of a friend of decades. He's really getting up there now. He just moved into the house, John Quincy Adams' grandson's house along Commonwealth. The first Audubon meeting was there. I ran into it with for Humanity doing some work there. So this is called Trials. Moody Blues Tuesday afternoon from the 1970s or so. I'm thankful, grateful for the ease of finding music online. Ambrose Spencer reinforced the benefits of gratitude. James Parker wrote a book of poetries and essays with themes of humor and being thankful. I try to be grateful when I lose and find things, when I remember and when I forget. Thankful I made my cell phone my second cousin on the anniversary of his mother's death, my great Aunt Elizabeth, although I hate the phone. I found out why great Aunt Elizabeth was born 1915 in four states, West Virginia. And had I not called, I would never have known that. Thank you.
No.
Thank you so much, Jan. That warms the cockles of my heart, even in hell. We are moving down the list, and I'd like to go now to Mr. Bill Lewis.
Why, thank you, Mr. Chadford. It is a pleasure and honor to be here. May I have permission to share my screen for a moment? Ah, so my friend wrote a translation of Eugene Onegin, the great Russian poem by Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin. And he wrote a nice little note to me there, which is just so cool that I just wanted to share it. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I love that he was my professor in Indiana University. Dla mojeho starого druga Bila s udовольствием от Daga, 12 October 1999. I don't know how to say 1999 anymore. Anyway, I was just so cool, and he learned Russian in about a year, and like I can talk Russian kind of sorta, but all these endings I would not have known. There was Mayevo starого druga, Mayo stara druga. I don't know, but he does, and he's a genius, and I love him. So I just wanted to point that out and read a little bit of Eugene Onegin. Where's the push button? Just a moment. I'm looking for a push button. Push button, turn it off. Oh, let's go look at Emacs for a moment. And now let's not look at Emacs. So, Eugene Onegin. His somewhat whimsical translation. Look at this is a huge, oh, you can't see it. Take my word, this is a huge poem. This is one poem, and it's glorious, and it is as Russian as you can get. So here we go. I'm having trouble with my glasses. My uncle, matchless mortal model, when deathly ill learned how to make. His friends respect him, bow and coddle. Of all his ploys, that takes the cake. To others this might teach a lesson, but Lord above, I still feel such stress in, having to sit there not day and night and day, daring not once to step away. Plus, I say it's hypocritical to keep the half-dead spirits bright, to plump his pillows till they're right, fetch his pills with tears veridical, yet in secret to wish and sigh, hurry, dear uncle, up and die. So ran awake chief's thought disjointed, thick in the dust of the trouting steeds. By Zeus, by Jove, he's been appointed heir to his kinsfolk's trusts and deeds. Fans of Ruslan and Ludmila, meet my new book, I'll reveal. Few things about its motley crew. Let me introduce to you Onegin, my true friend and trusty, who by the Neva's banks was born, just as you were, I would have sworn. Dear reader, but my memory's rusty. There once throve I, but left I fear. The North was shall say I, quite severe. And on it goes, and it's this wonderful lyrical, soft, and goofy translation of this very serious, Russian poem. I mean, Onegin he's not like acted the nicest guy in the world and toying with what's her name's affections. What a bastard. But anyway, I just wanted to show off my friend. So that's cool. Your turn.
Thank you, Bill. Who do we have next? Let's go to Mary Honecker. She's back. I'm excited. Are you excited? Excited.
Okay, I have another ABC Darian. I thought I'd stopped writing them after I put together a chapbook, and then I started again. So here's another one. It's called Metaphysics. Against which the stallions stand in a row. Behind them, chaos. Before them, chaos. Chaos nibbles at the earth's stony crust. Dapples scatter through the willow's branches. Eggplant lull of night hides inside the pine. Falling out of words, vowels lie strewn around. Guessing is the best we can do. Science halves the mystery. The rest remains veiled. Into the evening the trees charge late nights. Jumping into the river won't make it known. Cats slink under and over fences. Leopard Appaloosas have complex spots. Metaphysically, no way to start. Notoriously, love goes missing and is often found dead, garroted with a piece of her t-shirt, covered up by leaves. Quavering trees bear witness. Cats see too. Raven holds gold and silver silently. Students of philosophy will in time tell you what Socrates said. I know nothing. Understanding falls like a fall leaf. Volition muddied on the river bank. Wool goes limp with shame, a scolded dog's tail. Xylarisy tosses black spores in your face. It's good to try to see, but zealous views seek shadows inside your eyes. And that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. And now we have straight from Ohio, Mr. Doc Jennings, if you'd like to read something.
Yes. This is something I wrote just today. Titled, With a Prof. I tune in to what lies within, to my emotional core, and listen with intense intent to small, invisible rituals and try to remember, to focus, to calm and synchronize what fits me and my mind, to travel, not strevage, my inscape, not as a barren waste, but as a landscape, lush with possibility. Ideas connect in nexes of thought and dream. Rhythms of thought and dream, too long quiet, become poetry, dance, and music. And in the moment. I am reborn. Thank you.
Nicely done. Thank you, Doc. And now let's segue over to Mr. John Wizek.
Okay, so I have been reading this Jason Statham parody called A Shoe Salesman. Brock is a former Special Forces soldier who's now earning minimum wage as an assistant manager at a shoe store, and one of his employees, Bunny Blondie, has gone missing, and Brock has been murdering gangsters trying to find her. So we'll pick up in the middle here. The Yakuza boss, who looked like the host of a Japanese game show, entered a mansion that resembled Osaka Castle with stucco walls instead of stone. It was more vulnerable to trebuchets, but no doubt cost less to heat. Brock had followed him after the Yakuza had investigated the carnage at Dimitri's home. 2 retainers guarded the door. Both wore swords, samurai top knots, and wooden sandals. Brock panned the remote surveillance camera to examine the defenses and settled on a plan. You guys want some fugu? He offered a takeout bag containing chopsticks, a plastic tray, and a tiny soy sauce container shaped like a fish. Nah, pufferfish is deadly unless it's prepared by an expert, the first retainer said. I thought it was okay, Brock replied. I got it at a gas station. Gas station sushi! The retainers high-fived before consuming the toxic snack. 2 broke out in projectile diarrhea, not from the fish toxin, but from the microplastics in the container. 15 minutes later, Brock stashed their corpses behind a bonsai, slipped through the gate, and encountered another obstacle. To continue, he needed to hop a half-dozen padded islands 6 feet above a pond while avoiding a Vienna sausage the size of an oak tree swinging horizontally at ankle height. He hopped to the first island and almost slid off because it was covered with massage oil. Fortunately, his Vibram soles provided excellent traction. Then someone dressed as a cartoon otter opened up with a fire hose. Water pressure pushed Brock off the island, but he climbed atop the Vienna sausage, rode it for a half turn, and jumped off at the far end. His trials weren't over. The other challenges included riding a gasoline-powered pogo stick through a field of bear traps, climbing over slippery rollers suspended over a pond of piranha, and dodging a gauntlet of dwarves, tossing curling stones while on ice skates. Having navigated the booby traps, Brock tracked muddy footprints onto the mansion's tatami as he cleared the kitchen, living room, and bedroom. Satisfied there were no other guards, he found the Yakuza boss reclining in a Japanese bath. A bottle of peanut butter whiskey sat on the edge, and a calligraphy in running script hung on the wall. Brock's Japanese was a little rusty, but he translated as, "Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you." Must have been from Basho. The boss glared at Brock's impolite boots and asked, "Do you know who I am?" "Do you know who this is? He's Mr. M14. Brock pointed the muzzle at the boss's chest. "Answer one question and this will be over. Where's Bunny?" "I can tell from the lack of a fully automatic selector that this is the civilian version with walnut stock, 22-inch barrel, national batch .062-inch front sight, and military 0.692 aperture MOA adjustable rear sight." "You know your rifles, but you're still a size 6 narrow to me." Brock clubbed him into unconsciousness with the stock. When the Yakuza came to, his wrists were tied behind his back. "I'll make this simple," Brock said. "Tell me where Bunny is, or I'll hold you under the water until you do." "Who's Bunny?" Wrong answer. Brock shoved the Yakuza's face underwater. He struggled, pointing to his mouth. "Can't hear you," Brock yelled. Bubbles emerged from the Yakuza's mouth, and he stopped struggling. Brock lit him up. "Rosebud," the Yakuza whispered before he expired. Damn, Brock said. These guys are tougher than I thought. The National Security Advisor picked up the red phone. Hey, Jake, Brock here. Brock, how's it hanging? I've been meaning to stop by for a new pair of Chelsea boots, but the National Security Council's kept me busy with that Iran thing. What can I do for you? Does the term Rosebud mean anything to you? I'm not supposed to tell you this, but Rosebud is the code name for a smuggling operation run by the Yakuza, Russian mob, Mideast terrorists, and biker gangs. They operate out of a bar called the Bitter Rhino. Thanks, Jake. Drop by sometime and I'll give you a 10% discount on those boots. And I will pick it up from there in the second half. And also, it is in my book, St. John the Blasphemer. A link is in the chat.
Brought to you by the Acme gasoline-powered pogo stick, as highlighted by Doc Janning.
There was a gasoline-powered pogo stick. They actually sold it, but the damn nanny state took it off the market, said it was dangerous for children or something.
I thought they changed that to coal. Wasn't it coal-fired?
Oh, well, maybe now, yeah, good idea. Or, maybe like a small modular nuclear reactor, just saying.
Seems only slightly more useful than the gasoline-powered turtleneck sweater. Going obscure reference on you. Let's go now to our we need a visual poet from Delaware. Anyone volunteer? Yes. Mr. Robert Fleming, take it away.
Thank you, Chad. So I want to give an endorsement for the Stone Soup Facebook page. 2 months ago, I saw a posting to enter the Massachusetts Poetry Olympics, and I entered, and now I have won a medal. And I will find out later this week which medal I won. And I just started negotiations with Kellogg Corporation to be an Olympian on the Wheaties cereal box. So I'm going to share a preparation for a art show, which I am going to be submitting for. It is for my local art gallery, the Rehoboth Art League, and it's a photography show, and the submission maximum is 3. I recently took some of my selections to another open mic, Time to Arrive, and I had them vote and help me make my selections. I'm going to show my selections. This is one of them. This is a bridge in Florence, Italy, and which I did both a conversion from color to black and white, and I added this light streak across of it. And this is a bridge in Oregon in the United States, where I did extensive editing. I tried to make the night look like Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, the same style. There were several others which had very few votes, which I ended up trashing after this. This is an image of a ghost coming out of the sky. And this is an image called Messiah Locator, which surprisingly only got 1 vote. And here is Messiah Locator in color. And here are the Rapture Pods in black and white, which only got 1 vote, and same thing in color. And this was the vote. So what I did is that I added another photograph, which I edited to the group, and these will be my 3 submissions for the photography art show next month. And I was just inspired by one of our my fellow guests tonight, which is Ethan. I remember once he shared some poetry that he wrote, which had a wrestling theme. So I just recently, just tonight, wrote a wrestling short poem, which I'm going to share. 29 less poets. 30 poets in a wrestling ring. One remains. Hulk Hogan extends the hand of the new poet laureate. Thank you. And thank you for the inspiration, Ethan.
Thank you very much, Robert Fleming. And speaking of Ethan, let's have a little musical interlude with Mr. Ethan Meckler. Thank you so much, Ethan. Looks like we have someone who every time he joins, he seems sometimes he gets off early before I can introduce him to read. I was going to close out with James, but I'm going to ask if Julian Matthews would be interested in reading right now. The screen share is up.
Yeah, sure.
You're up.
Okay. Um, Hi. Share screen.
There you go.
Oh, there I am. Um, Influencer. Actually, so. Why this obsession with counting followers? Are you a goose who needs a goslings? Hoping to lay a golden egg for that one Ken to land a man from all these nerdy fans? A gander to be baited from TikTok banter, or a parade of waddling penguins in their tucks to lessen the pain of why your polar life sucks? The dog-tired dread of being alone, chewing on your own bone, this tight social media leash awaiting to be released by some salivating, gift-giving stalker, a creepy jerk offer. Really? A soulmate from groupies of geeky gawkers? Newsflash, you can't fill a real heart from clicks of heart emojis. Likes on rectangular screens doesn't square with likability. A meme is not a real memory, it's just a means to your end. Going viral isn't the be all and end all, it's readying you for the fall. You are more than this. Go offline for a bit and find your bliss. Even ever needy influencers can eventually locate their centers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julian. This is great. We're going to close out the first half of the open mic with Mr. James Van Loy, poet columnist for Oddball Magazine. Check out his column, It's All One Thing, every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. And take it away, good sir. And press unmute. There you go.
Thanks, Chad. So I have a poem here that Jan made me dig out this week. So I got it around. It's called Jonah on the Tell of Nineveh. Jonah on the Tell of Nineveh. As adolescent atheists, for a paper I wrote on the irreconcilable gods of the Old and New Testaments, I read the Bible about cover to cover only to wonder why it was Jonah, the prophet, found it so odious to preach judgment to the people of Nineveh that he fled God's mission deep in the hold of a ship, sleeping as a great storm sent by God threatens to overwhelm the vessel. So the sailors throw lots, which fall on Jonah, who admits his rebellion brought God's storm on them all. So reluctantly, they pitch him over the side into the sea, where a great fish, the Leviathan whale, was appointed to swallow him up, so that he was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the beast until he prayed to be allowed to go to Nineveh. What's this thing between Jonah and Nineveh? Now I see on Yahoo Scroll the story about how in the over 4 months siege of the Iraqi city of Mosul, the Iraq Shiite government forces have taken the site of the tomb of Jonah, which was blown up by fighters of the IS, Islamic State, the new caliphate, declared in 2014 after a few thousand insurgents took the city from tens of thousands of U.S. trained and equipped Iraqi government forces who fled after their officers absconded to Kurdistan. With Jonah's tomb out of their way, the fundamentalist fighters proceeded to dig down under in search of archaeological plunder, and the mound on which the mosque stood turned out now to be an ancient foundation till that held a 2,600-year-old Assyrian palace. Because its legend had held all along, Mosul was really the ancient capital of the Assyrian Empire, the city of Nineveh. The Assyrians were a rude crew who put together the first interregional empire, uniting the northern Nile and Tigris-Euphrates river valleys, and were famous for flaying victims alive. So they left what may be the first descriptions of what was named Soldier's Heart in the Civil War, shell shock, World War I, combat fatigue, World War II, and of course, post-traumatic stress disorder, PSTD from Vietnam era vets. And now, of course, the forever war vets too, with their moral injury. 2,700 years ago, these Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom of Israel, of which Jonah was a prophet, to transport their elites to far reaches of exile to become known as the 10 lost tribes of Israel. So no wonder, after all, Jonah did not want to be sent to Nineveh, to warn of God's impending wrath if they did not repent and immediately change their ways. But oh, what a miracle that those left behind by this horror of the birth of empire put first a Christian, then an Islamic shrine to the prophet of the northern Jewish kingdom on top the grand palace of its conqueror. And the deep down in the striated tell of the palace, the Yahoo scroll shows a picture of a bas-relief of three fine female forms who disperse the water of life with their willow-wand scepters, just like the wise women with the standing rock water protectors, who stood, I think, like sturdy stone against the black snake pipeline of tar sand oil dug across the guts of our continent that threatens the water of life here and now. Thank you very much, Agent Orangehead, occupant in the White House, executive order, not. And here's a little song that goes with it. We're not the good guys. They didn't want to do it. We didn't want them to do it. They're not the good guys. I guess we always knew it. You know, they always knew it. They were so slap happy sometimes. They seemed so glad. But there were times, dear, you know, they were so glad. They made us cry so. We didn't want to do it. We didn't want to do it. We need some love, that's true. Yes, we do. Indeed, we do. You know we do. Give us, give us, give us, give us what we cry for. The brand of revolution, revelation that we could die for. You know they made us love them. You know they made us love them. Peace. We really aren't the good guys.
Thank you. Thank you, James. And with that, it concludes the first round of the round robin. We pass go and collect $200. And I'm kind of glad I got Julian when I did because he's gone again, which makes me feel bad, but at least we got him. Huh. Okay, and we seem to be missing looks like we still got a couple people. Looks like most of us are still here. Let's start. Let's go back to start, collect $200, pass go, and start with Mr. Richard Spizak again.
Thank you, sir. It is my honor to be back again after my hiatus of what must be minutes. Here we go. This is called Scrubbing the Media of Humor. We scrub the media of humor. You've heard it before. It's not a rumor. Every comedian must get a pass. I'll tell you now, don't waste your gas. You better be a ventriloquist. Anything else, you're sure to miss. But nothing polity goes without saying. Insulting the king, you'd be up for a slaying. Sure, they had their gestures once upon a time, but those days the reviews were brutal. There wasn't no daggum fine. If the king was insulted, in the irons you were tossed. None of them highfalutin lawyers, no paying court costs. But sue for $1 billion to cover their assets. They'll fire up today's gestures, toss them out, and now they're cashless. In big-time media with a touch of global reach, don't ask us to take a stand on some goddamn free speech. Out Colbert, out Kimmel, out Prancer and Vixen. They've mumbled 12 kinds of madness on Fox before breakfast, insulting the liberals, castigating the Dems, with no more discomfort than coughing up phlegm. And then this one, it's called, hey, it's their duty. They specialize in cruelty. They think, I guess, it's their special duty. And as they cuddle up to their best friend, Vlad the Pootie, careless, heedless are they of little toddlers' hungry cries, as if it mattered. Hey, I need more ballroom, don't you see? It's not about you, it's just about me. And say, What's that? Seniors can't control? They want to eat daily? Yeah, sure. What's the score? If they can't find work for somewhere, say minimum wage, well, they can't be bothered to work, dude. It's all the rage. And if you want to feed me the jerk who says they can't drag their raggedy ass out and find some work, ain't no free ride except for my pals. Yeah, if it dries you up the walls, I can afford my doctors. How about you? Thank you so much. An honor to be here. And read a copy of Oddball Magazine. Good stuff. Those essays are something else.
Thank you so much, Richard. If you do say so yourself, and check out the last couple of days of Oddball. It's good stuff. And we have up next Anna Jeffrey with more breakup
Hello.
poems, I'm suspecting.
I am not doing a second breakup
Oh.
poem, okay? We're not giving him that much power tonight. That doesn't mean I don't have more breakup poems. I'm just gonna spread it out a little. What do I have here? Oh, I have one titled Origin Myths. You waited until Labor Day weekend, and you won the biggest baby contest. You were in the nursery with 3 other babies named after queens. We told your sister that the seasons would turn, and when summer came around, the leaves would sprout and grass would grow, and one day, on the greenest day ever, she would have a new little sibling. You were so tiny they didn't let us leave the hospital till you and I both put on a few pounds. The weather was gray and misting when we left the hospital, and you stuck your tongue out and moved your tiny mouth trying to taste the water in the air. Your birth was heralded by a double rainbow. I was too insane from long labor and no sleep and trying for the first time to care for a baby that I sang a lump into your head, harmless but terrifying. Thankfully, your aunt had gone through the same thing. Family history is not just about what diseases wait in your genome waiting to take you home. You came into this world screaming, and we called you pterodactyl, called you senator, baby bear, piggy bear, stared into eyes your grandmother swore up and down would turn brown, but turns out she was the one full of shit. You stole every recessive gene I had and ran away with it, sucked your substance from my bones, set my sleep schedule to your own, dictated my diet, and it was a fair trade for dragging you into this place without permission. Once you were 2 apple seeds, a wish, a dream, a name, a clump of rapidly dividing flesh the size of my thumb.
Let's work on it. I'll try and be there this Monday for Controverse. And up next, let's go back to Jan Rowe with some more Black Seed Riders goodness, I'm sure.
Actually, this one I read it once before. It's by a poet. He's homeless, and he's paralyzed, kind of young, Troy Brown, and it's called Elegantly Oppose. I heard that I have a problem, that I think that I'm better than others, and sometimes I don't wipe my tears properly, that I'm not loyal and can't take the pain, can't take a joke. Take one for the team is the message. Let's see what he does when he thinks he's alone. We liked you better before. You know what you have to do. A lot of people are going to die.
Ooh.
Thank you, Troy Brown.
Thank you, Troy, wherever you may be. Hopefully at a solid address now. Let's go now to Mr. Bill Lewis.
Hello, 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 hello again. Oh, what a wonderful day. Aren't you happy that it's today? I mean, if it were yesterday, that would be really weird because we wouldn't have Stone Soup Poetry to go to, but it is today, so we do get to do this. And that is why it is so absolutely marvelous. And just a moment, let us get the sharing in here. So this is going to be my new book. You can see here is the front cover. Um, Irritating child. This is a picture. Well, yes, this is the subject of my book, How Irritating Children Are. And obviously, this is a 10-year-old, my friend's daughter, with Larry the dead fish. Now, what the connection is between little girl and dead fish is, I don't know. I mean, just like, okay, fine, you have your dead fish, just do your thing, stay away from me, which of course is exactly what she wouldn't do because she was going, Billy, Larry likes you. Larry wants to kiss you. Kiss Larry, Billy. And she chases me around the beach with this dead fish. Larry loves you, Billy. And this is the kind of thing that I have to put up with. Oh my God, children are so irritating. Why did we have to go this way? Isn't there some other way to reproduce and have children? And dead, I mean, she named him Larry. Why Larry? Oh well. So let me read a bit of my excellent prose concerning the younger generation. Children are a veritable plague to those of us who prefer a quieter, more genteel existence. Having no genetic responsible for any of these little horrors myself, I feel that I should not be subject to their disrespectful nature and the copious abuses which they routinely heap upon me. There's something about children that give them a sort of clairvoyance that they lose in later life. They have the capacity to just stare at an adult and decipher their victim's individual fundamental nature. I was visiting my cousin, whom I had not seen for some 10 years, during which time he had gotten married and had twin girls. I came in, I was very polite, smiled at the girls politely, then settled down on the couch to discuss life with my cousin. As we talked, I could see the girls checking me out. I could feel their eyes burning holes into the back of my head, penetrating me, pulling out my fundamental essence. They were evaluating me for future reference. The future came soon. As I turned to Jeff to say something, one of them climbed up onto the couch, grabs my nose, and runs off with it, screaming like a hyena. And I'm going like, my nose, my nose! Ow! You terrible child, give me back my nose! And I'm running into, she's running into the kitchen. I chase her into the kitchen and around the kitchen counter 1, 2, 3 times. Kids are so fast. It's so hard to catch the little monsters. I finally get a hold of her and she takes my nose and he throws it to her sister, who takes off in the other direction. But I grab her nose, so at least I can breathe, and I chase her sister in the opposite direction. Then Jeff gets involved, and there are noses everywhere. The proboscis party, the peripatetic proboscis party. I don't even know if I got the right nose back at the end of the whole thing. Look at this. Does this look like a nose of a 9-year-old girl by any chance? I don't know if this is the correct one. So you can understand why I am so emphatic that we must avoid the dangers of these damn little monsters who ruin my sleep and serenity on so many occasions. And I wish I could tell you that there was hope. I wish I could tell you that I saw ways out of this conundrum, the horrors which they dump upon us, but I fear there's little chance. This poem I entitled, She Hates Me. I'm not her daddy. She knows that fact well. I'm her mom's funny old friends, and that's just as well. Her brother and sister, who are several years younger, they want a daddy. It's for him that they hunger. Just an old friend, but I'm fun and I play. We do neat things together whenever I stay. It's like you're our daddy, Caden whispered in my ear as he rides on my shoulders, big and brave with no fear. And Bibi awakens me from my slumbers on their couch by counting my fingers 1 through 10. She's no slouch. Daddy, she purrs when her mother can't hear. It makes me feel good so she holds me so dear. But Ashley is 8 and she is no fool. She knew her real father. She knew he was cruel. I'm okay as a friend. I bring water balloons, but don't get too close. Don't try too soon. I'm just your mom's friend. Though I am fairly silly, there are few things as fun as tricking poor Billy. As we drove to the lake, she gave all the commands, so we ate at McDonald's to fulfill her demands. At the lake, the kids all splashed and played, and they found it to be a near perfect day. Now, Ashley is clever, and it's a fair bet that when I'm distracted, she'll get me wet. She'll knock on my s'mores off into the fire, and driving my crazy, I fear she'll not tire. And trumping my cards and spilling my spoons, this obnoxious child makes me look like a goon. At 2 in the morning, it's vacation, no curfew. The little ones slump as if on the same cue. But Ashley is big and she wants to hear what we adults say when children aren't near. Now, Ashley, the kid who never asks for permission, best get out of the way when she's on a mission. Like a pup who is searching for the most comfortable ground, she crawls onto my lap and turns herself round, and then having found it, that most comfortable place, she wraps my arms round her and nods off into space. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doomed. There is nothing we can do about children. They will ruin our lives. All we can do is realize that we are stuck with them forever if they weren't so wonderful and we love them so much. It's so unfair. How do I turn off sharing? Why can't I turn off sharing anymore? There. Now I can turn it off. Okay.
Thank you, Bill. Oh, we're dropping like flies now. Mary and Doc have left. We still have John Wizik.
I have
Oh,
not
there's no wait,
left.
Doc is
Doc
still
is.
here.
Oh wait, Doc's right there. Sorry about that. Sorry, John. Doc Danny, looks like you are next in the absence of Marianne.
Riddles, mysteries, and enigmas. Beyond our world, beyond our human ken, lie other worlds and other realms. Worlds of mysteries and magics, realms of gods and goddesses, worlds of unknowns and beyond. Worlds which have been written of, Shangri-La and over the rainbow, Olympus and Valhalla, Hades and the places between, and the horrific home of the elder gods. These all exist, and in their subtle ways work their arcane magics on our everyday world. Through art and music, literature and poetry, science, and politics too. They all help it inspire and define this, our quotidian world, in great ways and in small, in holidays and names of days, and in names of months, in memories and legends, in sunrise and in sunset, and all the hours between. In our landscapes and our seascapes, and in our inscapes too. We know them, we know them all, but know not what we know of riddles wrapped in mysteries, inside enigmas, great and small. And as the veils of in-between weave back and forth in time, there is a startling, amazing truth we find. Those riddles mysteries, and enigmas, all of them are us. Thank you.
Thanks, Doc. Up next, we have John Wizik.
Continuing. Got any sarsaparilla? Brock asked after taking a seat at the bar. The bitter rhino had the atmosphere one would expect from a criminal hangout. Smooth jazz played in the background and white linen covered the tables. If this hadn't been business, Brock would have tried the grilled barramundi or spinach salad with pecans and goat cheese. The bartender slid a dusty bottle in front of him. You a cop? A bouncer in a cowboy hat and leather vest sat next to Brock. I was looking to buy some product. Brock placed a stack of $100 bills thick as a fist on the bar. It had been tough to accumulate on a shoe salesman's salary, but he'd been frugal. What kind of product? Saffron from Afghanistan. Saffron, huh? Follow me. He led Brock into the back room, dominated by a throne made from the swords of defeated enemies. The Iron Throne's occupant, an African elephant wearing a gold crown and green suit, sat warily lest one of the blades decapitate him. Brock judged his feet to be size 40 extra wide, and wonder if Soul Kitchen had anything that would fit him. Monseigneur, the bouncer said, ce monsieur veut du saffron. We can speak English in front of our guests, the elephant said. My name is Fubar, formerly king of the elephants, until that bastard Richard III Rhino deposed me. This tavern's name is a bitter joke. The bouncer handed Fubar Brock's cash. Saffron comes from the stigma of the crocus flower. It takes 100,000 flowers to make just 1 pound, so I can't sell it to anyone. You must prove your worthiness. Fubar snapped his fingers, which was odd considering that elephants don't have fingers. Boys, a luchador, boxer, karate master, fencer, judoka, and wushu master stepped forward. Like all movie villains, they waited patiently in line for their turn to receive concussions and broken bones from their adversary. This was made easier by their 3-inch heels that shifted their balance out of fighting trim. When the brawl finished, 6 thugs and 25 severed limbs lay in a gory mess on the hardwood floor. I like the cut of your jib, Fubar said. Let's discuss delivery. Mind if I step into the alley for a smoke first? Brock asked. A nasty habit, but you've earned it. Brock exited the back door and retrieved the M14 rifle he'd hidden behind the dumpster. He loaded with Utgarda, the infinite Hollywood magazine that never ran out of bullets, and returned to the throne room. Where's Bunny? Who's Bunny? Fubar asked. Wrong answer. Brock sent 30 rounds through the elephant's body without making any progress. Angered by the sovereign's murder, bikers, Vikings in horned helmets carrying 4-pound single-bit Michigan axes with 36-inch fiberglass handles, guys in hockey masks wielding big old knives, ninja, Imperial stormtroopers, a pterodactyl driving a King Tiger tank, and a Visigoth with a safety razor attacked. 3 dozen Spetsnaz opened up with their Gepard submachine guns at point-blank range. Thousands of rounds per minute shattered Ming vases and shredded teak paneling, but none injured Brock, who shot Russian elite special forces one by one. An axe whizzed by his head and sunk into Rembrandt's landscape with cottages on the wall. Brock sent the Viking thrower to Valhalla by impaling him on the Iron Throne's backrest. The King Tiger fired its 88-millimeter cannon. Brock shifted his weight, letting the high explosive round by. It detonated in the midst of the Imperial stormtroopers, but not before one got off a lucky shot that turned the tank's driver into a picnic that could serve 20 if someone brought mashed potatoes and coleslaw. By now, the floor was slick with blood, and the attackers' inappropriate footwear made them vulnerable. Shotguns, arrows, crossbows, and throwing stars missed, while the attackers struggled to maintain balance, unlike Brock, whose Vibram souls provided a steady shooting platform. The remaining attackers lost interest and fiddled with their smartphones. Brock ignored them. After murders by the dozens, he decided it best to destroy the evidence. Outside, he admired the coexist bumper sticker on his Toyota Corolla before removing a 1 kiloton tactical newt from the trunk. He set the timer and drove away. Despite his extracurricular activities, Brock had to report to work the next morning. So bruised and sore, he opened the shoe store. That afternoon, Bunny strolled in wearing a mink stole. "Can I have my paycheck?" She rested her elbows on the counter. "Sorry I've been out of touch. This week's been crazy." Brock opened the register and handed it over. "You'll never believe what happened. I met Gabriella Folgers. Her boyfriend is a billionaire who owns a private island. We're flying there tonight." Bunny pointed to a cut stitched closed with sewing needles beneath Brock's eye. "What happened to you?" "Nothing," Brock said. "Have a nice time." And that and other stories is in my latest collection, St. John the Blasphemer. A link is in the chat. Thank you.
Blaspheme away, sir. Thank you, John. We have next the visual stylings of Robert Fleming. Is he still with us? Yes, he is, right underneath me.
Thank you, Chad. So I'm going to share some of my preparations for the upcoming holiday season. I both have created some visual art and some poems for that. I will be participating in the Rehoboth Art League Holiday Art Show. I will have 2 pieces there. And this is the facility where I print my digital art from my computer onto paper. They have a very upscale Epson printer, as you can see here. It's about at least $1,500 for the printer. And here is a digital image that I started with, which is of Mount Everest. And this is the image that I was able to create. It's called Santa in the Mountain. And here is the Everest on the left and the Santa on the right. And here is another image in the show, which is called Icy Legs. I was inspired by the ghost of Christmas Past, and I previously called this the Drag Queen of Christmas Past. And here is the upcoming flyer for the Oddball Christmas Wars. This is called Over the Rainbow, and I'm donating it for a fundraiser for the holidays. And now I have 2 poems, 1 poem and 1 flash fiction. For the last 3 years, I've participated in a magazine event through Spillwords called the 12 Days of Christmas. This is the haiku poem I'll be submitting. Mommy sees Daddy belt buckled in a red sleigh kissing Santa Claus. And then this is the flash fiction I'll be submitting, 100 words. By Christmas, you will be married. Both Santa and I are fatter. We can't fit down the chimney. We enter the house from the garage. The door from the garage to the house is locked. Figures. We hear sirens outside and see red and blue lights. Festive. We sing songs all night and snore in the garage. We wake up in each other's arms naked and in jail again. We escape through the jail chimney, slay to Las Vegas, and are married in the Elvis Chapel. At 10 a.m., we are in the Bellagio Hotel honeymoon suite, conceiving elf tentuplets. Thank you. And I'll put the link for Spielwords in the chat in case anybody is interested in submitting for 12 Days of Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Fleming. And up next, we have one more musical round with Ethan Mackler.
You're muted, Ethan.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, dramatic pause. Thank you, Ethan Meckler. You'll see him next Monday if you go down to Malden for the Controverse open mic special feature. And with no more ado, we're gonna go to with the absence of Julian, our final reader again tonight going to be Mr. James Van Loy.
Thanks, Chad. So I have a poem here called Missing Matter. This is called Missing Matter. It was actually taken from a real scientific study that I read about. Pesky scientists have found the missing matter, the 50% of everything that just must be there had to exist in this condemned materialism of another era that we're now so clearly finished with, all that's so gross, physical, actually lethal. The word that's so easily conjoined with military and, oh yes, industrial, and yes, again, complex, very complex indeed. And in fact, in all that long walk out to the very end of the platform, to encounter our singing self from the distant past, receding in the rear view mirror that shows how quickly the stagecoach flies by in dusty swirl of wheels past our distracted eyes. Oh, but don't look now at the genocide. Just watch all the bombs falling on Tehran and then on not so old Tel Aviv and Haifa, the once Palestinian port of now, oh, Israel. So nonchalantly they erect a tent on the common and it says, standing with Israel. Oh, yes, yes, yes. How many of us stand with those ones struggling with God, Israel, and not with starving Gaza babes? Don't look at the missing matter right in our face. Oh, can't we still feel it there in unknown pulse? I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. And I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you. And peace.
And with that, our open mic round robin has come full circle twice, in fact. Wow, we're shorter than we started. I guess a lot of people had to go, but be here next week and plan extra time because we're gonna have the wonderful work of Rick McIntyre coming. That should not be missed. If you were here for his last feature about a year or so back, you know not to miss it. And if you've never heard him before, check out his stuff on various clips on YouTube and be there for his return. We're all looking forward to it, him especially. And more features are going to be announced and posted between now and the weekend. So thank you guys so much. Have yourselves an excellent evening, an excellent rest of the week. Buy John's book. Buy John's book. And have yourselves an excellent evening and Excellent time. Take care of yourselves. Kind of a crazy time right now, but we'll get through it. And more announcements coming. Take care. Show's over.
Be well, Chad.
See you next.
Thanks a lot.
See you next time. Keep slaying that Minotaur, Anna. See you soon.